Okay, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. I always like to be efficient and respectful of everyone's time. So we are going to get going here. Hello, ASCA members, and welcome to our August edition of ASCA Live. I'm Jennifer Lamont. I'm the CEO here at ASCA. And in a minute, I'm going to introduce our distinguished guest coach. But first, I want to welcome everyone who is on today, especially our YMCA coaches who have joined. As you all know, these monthly ASCA Live webinars are members only events for ASCA members. However, this month we did send it out and invite all YMCA coaches to hop on. And we did that because we are working on our collaboration with YMCA. We're going to be doing a lot of great things in the future. So we wanted as many YMCA coaches to jump on as possible so you can get a sense of what ASCA is all about, the great community that we provide, and get a sense for the educational offerings that we provide. As you know, if you're a member, and maybe even if you don't, but this is one of many benefits that we provide, educational and other. And if you jump onto our website at swimmingcoach.org, click on member benefits, you'll be able to read a rundown of many benefits that we do provide for members, and we are adding them literally every day. So we are doing a lot to build a value in ASCA membership. And just to remind everyone, it's only $88 a year, not even a month, but $88 for a year. So if you can jump on and join, your support helps us do more to support you. And like I said, constantly adding all kinds of new things. We're trying to really do only really quality offerings, and I think you'll be impressed if you check out our website and kind of peruse through all the new things that we have available and all the revamped education that we're offering. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce Dan. I just want to say, first of all, that Dan has been amazing. He reached out to me a few times since I have been on board here as CEO, and we've even had a continuation of some of those conversations on the pool deck, in the hospitality rooms at meets. And so I just, it's those kinds of conversations that really are, having a great impact, helping us shape what kind of education offerings that we do provide, and the direction that we're taking here at ASCA. And I just want to say that any of you, if you see me on a pool deck in a hospitality room, or if you just want to shoot me an email or whatever, or you see me at World Clinic, I would love to hear you, introduce yourself, hear your ideas, because that is how we are, that input is so valuable to how we shape, like I said, shape the offerings as we're in the direction that we're going here at ASCA. So I appreciate Dan doing that. I appreciate the conversations, and that's kind of what led to today, because he does have a lot of great ideas. So he's going to share some of those today. Just to give you a little background, Dan is the head coach for the Y Spartan Aquatics in Greensboro, South Carolina. And some of his accolades: he was named the 2020 South Carolina Coach of the Year, the 2019 Short Course YMCA National Coach of the Meet. He's twice been recognized as the Connecticut Age Group Coach of the Year, and he's coached over 100 YMCA National Top 10 performances and multiple YMCA National Champions and record holders. And he is an ASCA Level 4 coach. So before I turn it over to Dan, I just want to go over how the format goes today. Dan's going to talk for 45 minutes, and then we're going to open it up for question and answer. We welcome your comments, your questions. If you want to type something into the chat while he's talking, that's fine too. He can address it as he goes, or he can wait to the end to address it. So if you want, we'll read them from there. Or when he's finished and we turn it over to Q&A, you can unmute yourself and ask your question in person. And we do like these sessions to be as interactive as possible. So please feel free to do that, and we encourage it. So that's how it's going to go. And again, thank you for joining us. And Dan, thank you for being here. And I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Jen. Wow, what an intro. First, I want to thank Jen. I think this is the first time that I've seen a representative from ASCA at YMCA Nationals on the pool deck, and that really said a lot to me. I've been a YMCA coach for the last 21 years, and collaboration not only with USA Swimming, but also with YMCA Swimming is, I think, forward for the organization. Really appreciative of that. like I said, I've been a YMCA coach for the last 21 years and been around various programs of many different sizes. And I'm very excited to be able to take some of the things that we do and be able to present them and hopefully give you some food for thought. I by no means have all the answers. Some of the things that we've had success with, and one of the things that, and very little of this has to do with getting kids on that we all are striving in order to be able to get that feeling of family. Most of us got onto the pool deck in order to be able to impact kids' lives and be able to set great examples for these kids and to be able to make them. So that's primarily what we're going to be talking about today. In my mind, if kids are doing these sort of things, the fast swimming kind of takes care of itself. And you can get kids at all various levels of competition through all of this. So I certainly want to also thank my coaching staff, my full-time staff, and my people, Wendy Piney and Ed Cullen, Kyle Bradley, and Heather Martin, who've been a tremendous help. And the things that we do on the team not be done without their hard work in order to make this all possible. I'm going to just share my screen quickly. You don't have to look at my ugly mug for the rest of the time. And we'll get this going. So, we've all been there before when you're at a championship meet and there's always that handful of teams that seem to be a little bit more dialed in than everybody else. They're having fun and cheering for each other and enjoying being around everybody. They're not playing on their phones. And most importantly, they're swimming fast. Leave the meet thinking, how do they do that? I know that when I was a younger coach, I was always in awe of those programs that were able to have a large group of meets and be able to not only be there, but look like they're having a good time. But there's no secret sauce or magic spell. The teams they work for. Forging a tight bond and team culture takes time, patience, and a commitment for everybody involved. We don't need to reinvent the wheel, though. We need to grease the axles. The blueprint's right in front of us. High school and summer swim leagues around the country have figured it out a long time ago. They've got one thing that we don't have, and that's a finite season of only 6 to 12 weeks. We've all been there, wondering why our swimmers will go to their high school or summer league teams and commit their lives to those teams over that time. And then when they come back to us, it's like pulling teeth to get some of those same families just to time at a meet. So in my mind, the question really becomes not how do we get buy-in, it's how do we keep it? What we want to do is look at starting, where do you want to get to? And so what we've got here are 2 videos that were taken 3 years apart, both from the YMCA National Meet. However, 2 completely different programs and teams from year 1 with the program to where we are now. But one thing is consistent, and that's how much they enjoy each other and how excited they are for their teammates. So with that in mind, how are we going to get there? Well, it starts right here when they're first with your program. When you have these kids in their pre-competitive groups or the developmental groups, that's when you're really showing them what your program's for opportunity in order to be able to get that buy-in and get them to understand that this is exactly where they want to be. This is home. And it comes from consistent reinforcement of this from your oldest swimmers on the team and from your coaching staff to be able to have them be excited and be a part of what we do. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can go about and do it. And I'm going to give you guys a couple of ideas. I'm hoping that by the time we get to the end of this, I'll be able to get some ideas from you guys also, so we can move on. One of the other things that we do is community service opportunities. We do things like Carpenter's Table, which is a food pantry. We bring cookies and muffins to our first responders, our police department and our fire department. We do Angel Tree. This is a thank you note from one of the families that was received gifts from one of our families that donated, and that we were able to Christmas here. And we did a work with the homeless shelters in the area, and through a program, we're able to pack over 40,000 meals distributed to several different shelters within Greater Spartan. Some of the ideas of things that we do in order to be able to keep our families engaged. We do Big Little Buddies, senior-led pre-competitive meets. We celebrate every success possible. We have the motto, leaders are repeaters. We have common phrases throughout the program. Celebrate college swimmers and maintain a strong connection with our alumni base. We have our senior athletes interact with the younger swimmers every time. Just a high five will go a long way. Our social media, we're very active on social media. So we'll break these down a little bit to give you some ideas of how we do things and really be able to kind of look at this. We do buddy days. We do 4 to 5 buddy days every year, generally 2 in the fall, 2 in the spring, and then 1 in the summer. We'll do them usually the following a swim meet. We'll do those on their Wednesday during there. Then, so we'll do one of those active peer-to-peer coaching during the week, during the season. And then we do one for our December meet. So it's a little bit more fun. Usually they'll do one for each other. And in the spring, again, a thank you for the end of the season. And then we do a buddy breakfast. So our senior group swimmers are partnered with swimmers in our developmental groups, and they get partnered up in the fall, and they are those buddies for the entire year. So the swimmers get to know each other, they get to have a good time and see each other on every day. Peer coaching, they learn and they have fun. So Coach Wendy, who's our head developmental coach, he gives our senior kids, hey, today I want them to kind of learn a little bit about actual, or we've been working on starts, or we've been working on bilateral breathing, or something that they've been working on. And then our senior swimmers reinforce that skill with those kids and come up with a different way to do that. However, that relationship really goes beyond that year. We just hired a coach who's an alumni from our team, and he was blown away because his little buddy is now in the national group. And that's something where they are able to really be able to communicate with each other and have a great time as they go through that. Our seniors write good luck notes for our kids as they are going through their championship season. So our 8 and under, when we have 8 and under state meet, our senior kids write good luck notes to them. And as our senior kids are going into their state meet and the national meets, we'll be writing good luck notes to them as well. As a parent of a younger swimmer, my now 12-year-old still has her good luck note from her senior buddy that she got before 8 and under state and on her bulletin board in her room. And those are the type of bonds really make all the difference in the world.
Hey, Dan, before you go on to your next point, we're having a little
Yeah.
trouble hearing you. So I don't know if you can adjust your microphone a little bit because I want to make sure everybody can hear you, but you're cutting in and out a little bit there.
Oh no, let me see what I can do here. If I
Yes,
can make
that would
this
be
in.
great. Yep, because I want everybody to be able to hear what you're saying because it's been great so far.
Hopefully
Maybe
that's
if
a
you
little
just
bit
get
better.
closer to the mic.
Yeah, hopefully that's a little bit better. And we'll see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, that
Thanks
seems
for letting
better.
me know.
Yep.
So our pre-competitive meets, our senior team act as coaches during that meet, and there's a lot of different things that they're able to do. They're able to, some of them help line the kids up. Some of them are taking notes. We don't time at these meets. We give them a sheet with each of the 4 strokes, and the senior swimmers have a lane, each have a lane that they're responsible for, and they take notes on things that the kids did really well in their strokes, and things that they could work on. We give a little bit of feedback to those kids as we go through that season, and they're so that from one competitive meet to the next, we're able to see some of those kids grow and eventually move up. The coaches are there. We act as the officials. I am the honorary starter and referee of the meet, and our other coaches help make sure that the meet runs smoothly, that kids are getting to where they need to be in a timely manner. But really, we like to let the senior kids run that meet. Each of those meets have a theme. Our senior swimmers dress up. So our October meet is Halloween themed, and they show up in their Halloween costume. In the winter, we have Ugly Sweater Day, and they show up wearing funny sweaters. In the spring, we usually have there's something from your favorite team, and they'll wear a basketball jersey or a hockey jersey. And then we also usually have an Aloha themed day. They all show up in their Hawaiian shirts. Just something to make it a little bit more fun and get a little bit more engagement from the older. Want to let your pre-competitive parents come and sit right on the side of the pool and watch. You or one of your coaches should take some time, explain what is happening. What are the senior kids doing? What are they explaining to the kids? What are some of the things that they can expect when their kid does move up to the competitive team and goes to a real meet? And what can they expect there? What are the common pitfalls at meet? Why do we ask kids to do certain things? Why is it important that you touch with 2 hands in breaststroke and butterfly? Why is it important that you stay on your back in backstroke? Making sure that they start educating the parents at that point so that they're not quite so overwhelmed when they move up. The other thing is really try to hammer home with them that a disqualification is not the end of the world. Disqualifications simply mean that you made a mistake and you learned, and you won't make that mistake again in the future, and it's okay. Try to keep the environment as light, fun as possible. You want to get those guys in and out in under 90 minutes. We've been doing these for a little while. My first season here in 2018, we had about 12 to 15 kids in the meet. At our last meet, we had 45. It's really exciting, and it's great to see a lot of the growth. And we really try to emphasize with our senior athletes that that these meets are a great opportunity, that they're becoming role models for these younger kids. They're being able to try to make an impact on these kids that are involved in the long run. Celebrate success. You should be celebrating everything, not just the same individuals over and over. Celebrate team achievements. Anytime we receive a Club Excellence Award, we celebrate. Every time we move up a club recognition level, we celebrate it. We talk about virtual club championships. We talk about IMX scores. We talk about anything that we can talk about that is team focused. Might be as simple as, hey, we broke record numbers in membership this year, or we have more new members on the team than we've ever had before. Things like that are attainable at all levels, and we want to make sure that we're celebrating. And anytime you get to celebrate something, you get to educate your families on why that's important. Celebrate individual accomplishments. This is so much more than just who made a state cut or who made a national, or who won an event at. You want to make sure that these individual accomplishments that you are celebrating are attainable by everybody. So we do something that we call the 100-second club, and on our bulletin board we keep a running tally of kids who have dropped over 100 seconds for the entire season. This is something that anybody at any level can do, and really lends itself more to your younger or newer swimmers within the program. Being able to celebrate those accomplishments with the individuals makes every swimmer feel important, not just the kids that are succeeding at the highest levels. Celebrate your coaches. Anytime your coach reaches a milestone, whether they become an ASCA member, move up an ASCA level, if they get named to a zone coaching staff or a select camp coaching staff, celebrate that. Celebrate life milestones with your coaches. If you have a coach being married, if you have a coach's birthday, your coach is having a child, celebrate those things. Help your families feel a part of the larger family as you're going through all of these seasons of life. Celebrate birthdays. Every group celebrates birthdays. Usually we'll do a get out swim or some sort of birthday swim for those individuals in order to encourage them to show up on their birthday and feel special that day. I can't tell you the number of birthday get out swims that we've done where swimmers have gone at lifetime best at the end of a practice at all levels of the meet. We've had national qualifiers go lifetime best at the end of a practice just because it's their birthday swim, and they've been doing it for years, and it's just something that's fun for them, and there's no pressure. The more that you can get kids swimming fast at practice in a fun way is always a benefit to everybody. Celebrate achievements by swimmers on your club team, even if it occurs in summer league, high school, or college team. There's no reason that we can't be incorporating every aspect of this sport. If you want your team to be known as the center of swimming within your community, you've got to be willing to embrace all of that shoulder programming around you. Summer league is fun. High school is fun. College is fun. Your team is hopefully fun. That's got to be the common denominator between those things. So if you have kids from your team that are going back to their summer league team and breaking their summer league records, celebrate it. Have your family send in pictures and post it on social media. Make a big deal out of those things. Same with your high school team. High school records, great, celebrate it. We usually do a picture with anybody who swam high school that placed at the state meet from all the different divisions. We'll get them all together, get a picture of 25, 30, 40 kids together with their high school medals, wearing their YSSD apparel, holding their high school medals. It's something that we can be doing to show that our family extends beyond just. And with college, make sure that you're celebrating kids that are going to college out of your program. Even if they're not swimming in college, it's all right. Not everybody's going to choose to swim in college, but we can still celebrate the milestone of the graduating senior, moving on to secondary education, and moving on to get their degree.
Dan, as you're going on again, we're losing you a little bit, just to give you a heads up.
Oh boy. All right. I will try to get a little closer to the screen, see if hopefully you're in the microphone, see if that helps. I apologize.
No, you're doing good.
About the best that I can do for that. Leaders are repeaters. Try to come up with a few sayings that really hit home as far as what are you trying to convey to your families? What do you want your families to walk away from a given parents meeting, or reading one of your emails, or just an interaction with one of your coaches? You want this to almost be you're drinking the Kool-Aid type stuff. Evolve excellence every day. It's our team motto. It's published everywhere. It's on the bottom of our workouts. It's on our schedules. It's on our website. We have signs hanging above the entrance to the pool on there. Evolve excellence every day is real simple. Come in and get better at one thing than you were when you walked on deck. That's all. If you get better at one thing every day, whether it's in the water, if you become a better teammate, if you learn something you never knew before, if you held a repeat faster than you've ever done before, those small gains create exponential results toward them. If you've ever read Atomic Habits by James Clear, that book basically it goes into great detail of what Evolve Excellence Every Day means. I would like to say that this came before Atomic Habits, but it's one of those things that we have it out there, and it's great to see that leaders everywhere really more than a team. We use this actually as a hashtag a lot on a lot of our social media. Anytime that we are acknowledging something bigger than ourselves, whether it's pictures of siblings at a championship, whether it's the academic side of things, our community service efforts, kids going off to college, the kids getting together on their own, photos of families on vacation where they send us pictures of them wearing their cute apparel in some foreign land. You never know. We're so much more than just a team, and you have to keep hammering that home. Every one of my team emails end the same way. There's swimming and there's YSSC swimming. Thank you for being a part of the difference. Thanking your families goes so far. The difference is more than just the program that we're offering. It's each and every family that's involved in the program. Your members are not just the kids on the team. It's their siblings, it's their parents, it's their grandparents. That difference is the families that are willing to buy in and do whatever it is that's necessary in order to make your team the best. We're very proud to say that there's a difference, a YSSC difference. It's just that little something that goes above and beyond just swimming. And we try to preach that and have that hit home every day. Champions come out on Sundays. We talk about this all the time, specifically when we go to our championship meets. When you're at those 3, 4, 5-day meets, and everybody's tired on the last day of the meet, the champions are the ones that step up, and they don't care how tired they are. They don't care how sore they are. They don't care what the meet has been up until that point. That last day of the meet is where the champions are made. So I can just go up to my kids and say, who comes out on Sundays? And they'll shout out champions. That's the type of stuff that you want to be able to say when we're talking about this is the Kool-Aid stuff. When we repeat it, kids should know these phrases as we go through. Again, going back to my emails, all of my emails to the team are addressed to the YSSC family. I don't say hi all. I don't say hey, hello to the team. We're family. We're more than a team. We're the YSSC family. Use social media to your advantage. I'll talk a little bit more about social media shortly, but you can really go out there and put all of this out. We can put this out there for you and be able be able to put those things into hashtag form and be able to set your message out there, not just to your team, the people who are looking at your team. This is a great sales pitch, and it's a way to grow your team to be able to have those phrases out there. Talk a little bit about the impact of college on your swim team. Recognize your graduating seniors that are heading to college. You want to make sure, like I said before, you're recognizing not only those that are going on to swim to college, but just everybody who's going on to college. This is something that is super important, I think, in order to be able to tell those families that we care so much more than just them as swimmers. We care about the fact that they're getting a good education and that we are supporting these swimmers as they move on into that next phase of their life. Recognize their accomplishments in college. You have kids that are going on. If you're doing your job right in the pool, these kids are going to go on to college teams and they're going to continue to get faster. We want everybody to know that kids who swim for us go on to college and swim even faster when. Welcome those kids back to practice when they're home on break. One of my favorite times of the year, and I know it is for most of you guys, is when those college kids come home, whether it's Thanksgiving or winter break or spring break or whenever. Welcome them back into your practices. Make it easy for them to come in and train with your kids. Let them talk to your kids about what college swimming was like. Let them talk to them about how much fun it is. Make sure that they are telling them, hey, the stuff that you're doing here is preparing you for college. We do A, B, and C at college. Whatever those things are, my team does it. I never thought I would do it again after I left here. Thought it was crazy at the time. And I went to college and we do it once a week and or things like that. I hear that over and over. So I can tell that to the kids. You can tell it to your kids, but it's going to mean a lot more if it comes from their friends who went off to college when they hear it from them. Swimmers on our senior group send good luck notes, handwritten postcards to our college kids before their conference meet. They'll write notes, and so a week or so before their conference meet, our college kids are getting 6, 8, 10, 12 postcards in their mailbox, just saying, good luck, we're thinking of you, you can do it, you're doing awesome, keep it up. All of those notes just to give them a little extra positive boost. And going back to social media, one of the things I love is when those alumni post a picture on their story of the postcard showing up and just saying thank you and you know, once you always. When those college kids come back, have them talk with your younger groups. You'd be surprised when those college kids talk to those 10 and unders. 10 unders don't know who those kids are, but they are just staring at them as though they were an Olympic gold medalist. But these are accessible moments where you have kids that have graduated and moved on, giving back to that next generation. Have a team signing day. We like to incorporate ours with our spring pre-competitive meet. So all of those kids do the pre-competitive meet. They go and get changed into their team shirts, and we quickly set up tables, put out the name placards, put out some balloons. We've got cupcakes. We have all of our pre-competitive kids and their families, more importantly, sit and we go through all of our graduating seniors and tell them where these kids are going to school. And we give each of those kids an opportunity to talk in front of the parents and those kids about, hey, here's where I decided to go. Here's why I decided to go there. How did YSSC prepare me for that decision? And start getting those parents of 8 and unders thinking about when they're 18 and how this is a great place for their kids to be and a wonderful place for them to be able to continue to grow and point out, hey, when I was 8 years old, I was at this very meet. And now I'm here telling you about how great it is and how excited I am about going off to college. Media is a huge tool that a lot of you guys do really well, but we can always do it better. Remember that this is just as much about how the outside world hears about your program and how they view your program. So no matter how much you may be frustrated about something going on within your team, or how much you think people know about your team, you can always set your message however you want it done. I have this conversation with my kids all the time, that they'll come in and be like, this team's doing this and this team's doing that. And I have to remind them that, well, they're only putting the good stuff out there. You know, they're not putting out videos of how cranky their kids are at 5 a.m. So don't think that it's all rainbows and bubble gum. But if it's just a reinforcement of, if that's how your kids are thinking about other teams around the country, that's how people can be thinking about you as well. Make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. Keep it fun, smiles on faces. Make sure that you're putting the message out that you want to have seen. You get to control the narrative. You control the message. What's important to you and your coaching staff? What are your team values? Put all of that out there in the best way possible. Post regularly. The more you post, the more you get in front of people's faces. The more they get to see what you're doing. And the more that you post, the more things that you can highlight within your program. If you're posting regularly, you are making sure that you have time to put out there the little things. Our 11 and 12 group worked on streamline blast-offs today, and you show a picture of your 11 and 12-year-olds bouncing up and down in the pool. It's just fun. It doesn't always have to be somebody made Olympic trials or somebody made state meet or anything like that. You can just post kids having fun at swim practice. And the more you do that, the more you post, the easier it is to put that stuff out there. Brand your posts. For those accomplishments, have templates ready to go at the start of the season. That way, and have a different template for your record breakers, from your qualifiers, and from other milestones, whether or not you have a kid commit to college. We call those our Q commitments, or a Q commitment. We have a template for that. We have different templates for depending on what level meet the kids qualify for. Make it so that people who are scrolling through and see your posts over and over and over know what you're celebrating just by how it looks. So if you have your team members, you know, and this is just as much for the families on your team as it is for people outside the program, that your families, when they're looking, they're going to see one post that says that it's a state qualifier. They're going to know every time that pops up, hey, we had another kid qualify. That's great. They're going to know when somebody breaks a record because they've seen those posts before as well. So you get your families used to that brand recognition, and that makes it a lot easier. And then you sprinkle in the other stuff around. Show your kids having fun. Some of the most visited videos and posts that we have very little to do with actual swimming. I think that our most visited video was, we had a freak snowstorm in South Carolina, and we let them go out with their kickboards and go sledding down a hill on their kickboard and speedos. And that is the most viewed video that we've had in the last 2-3 years. Has nothing to do with swimming, but it shows our kids obviously at practice and they're having fun there. Make sure that you're putting that out there and you're allowing them to be able to do that stuff. Be conscious and be sure to highlight all levels of your program. It's real easy to get stuck in the rut of just focusing on your senior kids, especially at championship time. Make sure that you are showing not only your kids that are swimming in championship meets, but your kids that are at practice and learning a new skill for the first time. Put it all out there. Hashtags are wonderful for this sort of stuff, you know, or putting music to it. I'm a huge fan of getting better all the time with the Beatles, and you put that out there, and it just shows them learning new skills. Show kids from different groups doing the same skill. Show your developmental kids doing the same thing that your age group kids are doing, that your advanced age group and your senior and national kids are doing. Show the progression that kids have in your program. Once they go off to college, we have what's called CUke meetups. That's when we have kids that are CUke alumni that swim for different college teams end up swimming against each other. They always get together and they get a picture and they send it to us, and we'll post it on our social media. I'm holding a CUke cap and just celebrating how exciting it is for them to see their CUke family now that they're off in college. One of my favorite posts we do at the end of the summer, it's called Growing Up CUke. And we have our families of graduating seniors send us some pictures from them from the time they joined the team all the way through the program. And then in the post, we show all the different practice groups we went through. We've got 15 different practice groups. A lot of those guys hit on 6, 7, 8, 9 of them throughout their progression. And it allows those families to see, hey, it doesn't matter what group you start in, you're going to end up all the way at the end at senior one or national by the end. And these kids were in the same shoes as your kids right from the start. Make sure that you enjoy the process. And if you're enjoying the process throughout the way, you're going to have these kids here and they're going to move on and become these kids within your program as you keep moving through. Do these things however it works within your program. Allow it to grow slowly and organically. We didn't do all of these things all at once. These are things that some of them were already in place when I took over the program, and we've added them slowly, and they continue to grow and they grow and they grow. Help have buy-in from your staff first, and then you'll be able to get the buy-in from the families. I've talked a lot about social media, and that only becomes possible if you have a social media maven like we do. Coach Wendy does a great job making sure that everything is posted when and is on top of it, and make sure that we're being good about posting a variety of things. Have your coaches post on social media and tag the team as well, so that they can just repost it. And then you're starting to see a variety of posts throughout there. But you want to get these kids from day one and watch them grow and be there as they grow and go off to college. When they graduate college, and get those invitations for weddings and see the pictures of them when they've had kids. It all comes from making sure that you know that you're more than a team, but it takes a lot of effort in order to make sure that as your team grows, you're making sure that those families still feel that tight-knit environment that your team had when it was smaller. We've gone from 330 kids to 450 kids in the last 4 years. I think that the team feels exactly the same now as it did before. And I've coached programs that have ranged in size from 85 kids to 450. I'm very proud of the fact that all those teams felt the same. That but again, the larger the team, the more you have to put effort and intentionality into making sure that those kids and those families feel a part of something bigger than. So I've rambled on enough, and apparently my microphone isn't working as well as I would have hoped. So I'm happy to open things up to questions and discussion. I'd love to hear what some of you guys do, and let's talk a little bit.
All right, coaches, don't be shy. It'd be great if anyone else, Dan, you had so many
Can you
great
guys hear me?
ideas there. I was making notes. So if anyone else can share like what they do, I think that would be really helpful.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Marcellus.
Yes. I have a question. Well, I'm a coach of a very small team. We're only, because of the pandemic, a lot of our team members ended up leaving, going to other teams that are in our area. So what would you suggest for a small team? We're only about 20, so we're on the rebuild side, but at the same time, our facility also has a novice program where they're not paying very much. So the novice team is actually growing a lot faster than the US program. So we've got a lot of work to do. So what would you suggest for a team that's basically our size?
I think that you're in the perfect place for this, because smaller the team, the easier it is to have that tight-knit feel. You know, I would start just with knowing everybody's name in the program and making sure that you're acknowledging them by name, and starting with that. And then so, you know, making sure that, like we said, with the social media, you're putting yourself out there. It's to me like you're looking to really grow. So show your kids having fun, show them improving, and show them enjoying being around each other. You will see that growth. I will say it's a slow process. In my mind, and I'm sure some coaches will disagree, I think that you really don't want to grow too big too fast. You know,
Right.
Because you don't want to be in a position where you've outgrown the quality of your program. You want to double in size and all of a sudden not be able to provide the quality programming that made those kids come to the team in the first place. So focus, and I would just add a little bit every couple of months and try something new. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, move on. But I would celebrate as many successes as you can online. I would make sure that you are celebrating it with your families through constant communication with them, and understand that your families are the #1 recruiters for you. They're going to go back to their summer league teams. They're going to go to their high school teams, and they're going to go back faster and more excited about the sport than they were last year. And people are going to notice that. And then that one swimmer is going to bring 3. And it's going to, it's going to start to grow, and it will start to snowball pretty quickly for you.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Dennis Drake, and it's all right if I chime in?
Absolutely.
So Dennis Drake from Nazareth Eastern YMCA. One of the things that we do to actually, I like a lot of things that you're saying. It's I'm definitely taking a lot from that we could add to our program. One of the things that we do to help build the team is that we pride ourselves on, like, wherever we're at, whether it's an invitational, a championship meet, or a dual meet, we're the loudest, most spirited team. So we practice cheering. Like they get the whole team, large groups of swimmers together, and sometimes even for the younger swimmers that maybe are in the lower ability levels, have some of our older swimmers come down and lead the cheer, where they're practicing, teaching them how to do our core 7 or 8 cheers. And so there's always a go-to cheer. So from the beginning of the meet to the end of the meet, there's always cheering going on. And I think for a lot of the new kids that come in, it's an immediate, like, I feel part of something bigger than myself. And even just to have that older swimmer cheering for that, like that 19-year-old going to nationals, swimming for that 7-year-old doing a 25 freestyle for the first time, it means a lot to parents. And it's also immediately getting them to come on, to feel like they're part of the team. But I think that all starts with practicing cheering throughout the season, taking 15 minutes or 10 minutes from, a practice once a week.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. And definitely we'll be able to help create traditions and get it to the point where hopefully you're, at the point where your senior swimmers are the ones teaching the cheers, not the coaches, and being able to see that growth in there. But I love the idea of when we practice, you want to practice everything, from everything going right to everything could go wrong and how you're going to handle it.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
How you can convince the head coach that he thinks the social media is a monster.
Well,
I try to talk and he's no. It's, it's Facebook. And I know that Facebook is an amazing communication if you use it properly.
well, I think that that's completely, that can be a valid point. It depends on what the head coach's goals are for the program and how much they want to grow and how they want to be able to promote the program. I think that if your head coach isn't a huge fan of social media, and you want to try to convince them of that, I would show them what some other teams are doing, keeping it positive. However, you don't have to do social media. I know I've talked a lot about it, but there's so many other things. Constant communication within your program, and then having them go back to their summer leagues and high schools and talking about what a great experience was just as powerful as the social media. Social media just is a little bit more in your face with it. You can achieve those goals without it. It would just be being a little bit more deliberate and conscious of how you're communicating internally and focusing all the efforts internal instead of it.
Thank you.
Good question. Does anybody else do something that I didn't touch on that you really like? I like Dennis's idea of practicing cheers. Is there anything else out there?
This is Marcellus again. I know one of the things that we had started doing before the pandemic, and we continued it since after the pandemic, is we try to do a little bit more cross training and not just swimming in the pool. So we start off with a swim run once a week, and they always know what day that's going to happen. And then they progress to doing a triathlon. So the kids have done this past summer 2 triathlons already.
That's great. And so, using that you use that cross training time for a little bit more social because they're based underwater. And the kids, they can enjoy getting out of that. That's a great idea. I like the triathlon idea.
Hi, this is Jenny Lou Leader, and I'm in South Austin. And when you were talking about team building and stuff, we do a birthday Monday, the first Monday of every month. And it has everybody on the team. We swim right at 100 kiddos, has all their birthdays written on the cake. And we have a big chocolate cake and a big vanilla cake, and the kids love it. And then that Monday is also game day. So they do their warm up, and then we do games the rest of the practice. And I've been at this club for 9 years, and it's just been a really great team motivator and team builder. And I don't know if anybody else does anything like that, but if y'all do, I'd love to hear about it.
So I bet that's the best attended practice of the month.
It actually is not. But we have a lot of kids who aren't huge swimmers, real competitive, that are there that month, there that day. A lot of our more competitive kids don't come because it's game day.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I know that when we know that we're going to have they're going to get to play water polo, or they know that they're going to do something else like that, man, attendance goes through the roof. We do, our younger kids do what we call Oreo practices. Parents bring in Oreos and know that they're going to get a package of Oreos at the end of practice. They do Oreo skills. So it will be where they do one skill and then something in the middle, and then repeat that skill again. So you got on the outside and in the middle, and they put those skills together, and that's something that our young kids love. And man, the pool packed on Oreos.
This is Marcellus again. I have a question for anybody who's out there. how do you deal with, so for our facility, we're not allowed to post anything, pictures or anything that even promotes the team, as far as, well, we're able to wear our swim caps that promotes the team, but we're not able to post pictures or signs or anything of that nature at our facility because it is a city facility, and because they have their own team. How does anyone deal with those situations?
Did you ask that you could have one corner, like you could put those plexiglasses? Because I was working with in a team that high school pool, and they didn't want that. But eventually, we ask a corner and we create our own board, and it was just belongs to us inside, close to our pool area that we practice. That could be an option.
Yeah, we've tried. The issue is that we have a novice program. The city is starting their own US program, and they don't want conflict of interest.
What if you, do you have a website that,
Oh yeah, we have a website.
and do you post all that there?
Yes,
I don't know if there's a way, like you could even out in the community, if you got a QR code so that they could go straight to that website and they could see what's going on in the community, like maybe at the city hall or different places where people frequent.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Other
And
idea, you could print out some little hand flyers and ask your swimmers to walk around the neighborhood and put on their doors. We did that too, to advertise your team
Okay.
as a team event.
Uh-huh.
But you have to have adults with them to make sure they are safe.
Right. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, Dan. Dave from Y the North Shore. We're a team similar size as you guys, but I think a big difference is that we have multiple sites. Do you have any ideas about how to get team atmosphere, family feel, big team, small family, small community across multiple sites?
No, you're on your own. No, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I think that it's important to try to maybe once a month have a Saturday practice where the sites come together.
We actually do that.
So I think that's good. I think that take those days and maybe do some sort of thing outside of just practice, and maybe do some sort of social gathering after practice as well. Do a cookout outside and when it's weather, or have the different age groups go out and do a different social activity. Like one week have the year 11, 12 divisions from all the different states go out and do something, and then another week, 14, something like that. Give them as much time as possible to all be together. We'd try something like that maybe. And when you're going to meet, just try to make sure that kids from different states are sitting together and interacting as much as possible. Stuff with multiple sites. I know that we've had multiple sites in the past, and you try to make it available for them to all come together. And sometimes some families will make the trek, some won't. And you just try to promote it as much as possible and try to talk it up and can.
This is Marcellus again. I coached a larger team way back in my beginning days, and what we did was we did a boot camp. So when you have one of those major holidays that come up where you have 3 or 4 days, a 2-day boot camp where everybody actually comes to one of the facilities, and you actually have the kids stay the night at the facility, if that's a possibility as well.
Okay, see, anybody else have any questions to throw in before we wrap it up?
No.
Okay, well, Dan, I cannot thank you enough. This was great. I took a lot of notes myself. So many good ideas. Yeah, great job, Dan. I see in the chat. So we'll wrap it up. We usually try to keep these right at about an hour. We are recording and we will have it available in our ASCA Live library, which is another member benefit in our talks library, where there are literally hundreds of talks. So this will become the newest one. And again, thank you all. Those of you who are members, thank you so much for your membership. Those of you who aren't, please check us out. Lots to offer. It's a great organization. I think you want to be a part of it. So check us out. And for those of you who are going to Vegas for World Clinic, I will see you there. It's not too late to sign up, by the way. And we have an amazing, I'm so excited. It's going to be an amazing World Clinic. Lots of new features this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. The exhibit hall is going to be hopping. Lots of socials, and of course, a whole lot of great talks. So if you're not signed up, please think about it. You have some time, and we'll see you all there. So that's it for now, and keep posted. We'll have another Ask Live next month. Thank you, everyone.